Barbara. It's a bright sunny day out there, although my gizmo says it's cloudy. I mean, I think there are some clouds, but the sun is shining. I think it's going to be a nice day. Good morning, it's Barbara. Oh, I have my fan on here. I wonder if that's too noisy. I think it's fine. I hope it's fine. Dennis wants the fan to run more. He built these fans for... Did I say good morning? I'm Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Dennis built these fans for filtering the air of COVID and anything else. Well, they're getting kind of gray. Well, more like brown, browny gray. So obviously it's filtering the dust too, so that's good. I have noticeably fewer leaves in my house now that Maze is a black lab instead of a Swiffer. And the ground is drying up a little bit, so I don't have quite as much mud in the house. So that will cut down on the dust also. So there you go. So yesterday was a pretty good day, although I ended up not knitting at all. I have to work on my test because I'm that close to finishing it. And if I would just sit down and knit for 2 hours, I could have a finished object for my podcast, which I was going to do by the end of the week, and I might still, you know, the weekend is the end of the week, right? So I do have some knitting that I really want to do. Because I would love to have that cowl. And I would love to have that. And I want the test before it gets too warm because I want to wear it. So there you go. I do love sweater weather, I have to say. Although I do like a nice spring day too. But nice spring days are sweater weather too. I just have to wear lighter sweaters or, you know, a shawl or something like that. Anyway, so I didn't do any knitting or crafting other than we crafted vermouth. We crafted sweet vermouth and dry vermouth, both of which turned out great. The sweet vermouth was very interesting. We've never done that before. I had a Manhattan last night. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. But I found myself Googling sweet vermouth drinks. Because, I don't know, I guess I haven't been trying whiskey every night for enough nights. Well, I have, you know, I've only done it a couple times, so. It's the whiskey part. I like the vermouth part. In fact, I think that I will like the sweet vermouth in all the recipes that I have that call for dry vermouth. So I think I'm going to try a martini made with that sweet vermouth because it's not super sweet to start with and it's got a lot of different flavors in it. So, including hibiscus. I bought a giant bag of hibiscus, like a gallon bag. It came in like a gallon bag of hibiscus flowers, dried hibiscus flowers, because I was going to use it. I was going to try to, I can't really remember why I bought it. It was when I was making lip balms and things like that, but I also was talking about dyeing, so I don't know if I bought it to dye with, or I bought it to do some kind of lip balm or bath balm. Lip balm and bath bomb or what, but anyway, I've had it forever, and I have a little half round table in my entryway that collects all the things that I think should go upstairs, and it sat on that table for months. Nobody comes in my front door, so nobody saw it. Everybody comes through my grody garage. But anyway, so, you know, Dennis looks at the recipe and that's hibiscus. I says, oh, something to do with our hibiscus. I have hibiscus. And I couldn't find it because I had moved it because I had cleared off and decorated that table for Christmas. And I looked in the dining room, which is, of course, the, you know, where everything lands. And it wasn't there. And it had been on the go upstairs table, so I assumed it went upstairs. I looked in my room 2 times, went through it 2 times, and it's a mess. I mean, it's a disaster. Yeah. That's like a month's job. Maybe I should just, you know, make March the month of the craft room. Anyway, couldn't find it. And then it occurred to me that Christy has been doing some dyeing experiments and things like that. I mean, it was quite a while ago, but I haven't seen this in quite a while, right? So I texted her to see if I had given it to her, and she said no. She said, look in the dining room. My daughter knows me. I'm like, I did. So I'm like, okay, well, if Christy doesn't have it, then it's here. You know, I mean, I was looking. It wasn't like I wasn't looking, but somehow in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, Christy took it. Then, I don't know. You just can't see. I don't know. Anyway, I found it. But it was a big deal. And the hilarious part is, it took one tiny little dried flower. I have like a gallon bag full. Anyway, Dennis has a little plastic box that he's been accumulating all the different weirdo ingredients that these drinks take, like, because he's been making me tonic water, and it has wormwood and chinchona bark. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it has wormwood. The vermouth has wormwood. That's kind of like almost in the definition of vermouth, that it has wormwood. So anyway, he's collecting, and that's where I had dehydrated all those orange skins and lime skins and lemon skins, and those are for, you know, are in that box and that kind of thing. Chamomile tea, jasmine tea, all the different ingredients for these things that we've been making. And so I said, well, here, let me take a little tiny zippy bag, a sandwich bag, and put some of these in there. You could put it in your box. But he didn't want the whole gallon bag because he used one flower. It was hilarious. One of the things I did yesterday was I dried grapefruit peels. And so I peeled grapefruits and peeled them with a peeler, not like you peel, you know, an orange and take the whole peel off. It's just, you just want the color on the outside. And because the tonic water actually uses grapefruit, dried grapefruit peel, not dried orange peel, which is what we've been doing. So anyway, I thought, so I did some grapefruits, and some of the bartender videos we've been seeing have been using dried lemon wheels, like slices, like really thin slices of lemon that are dried, as garnishes in the drinks. And I'm like, I was trying to think of something else I could dehydrate because I was going to have it running. And so we ended up doing a bunch of dried lemons. Let me get them for you and I'll show you. And 8:47, I'm going to talk too long. That 8:47 was so that I remember I've already talked almost 9 minutes. But this is a lime. So it's a dehydrated slice of lime, and you put, you know, this is the garnish for the drinks. One of the things we don't really do when we're doing all these drink experiments is really very often do much with a garnish, other than, of course, an olive and a martini and that kind of thing, but that's like intricate. But mostly we don't do garnishes. But I thought, well, I'm dehydrating anyway, let me do some of these. So there's the lime. Is that a lime? Oh, that's a lime too. Oop, not a very pretty one. It's all right. We're not a bar. The lemons were harder to slice really small. Dennis has a mandolin that he sliced this on at the highest number. So lots of the lemon ones are not lovely. Actually, most of them are not lovely, but the limes turned out good. So if we ever do this again, if I find that I'm actually using these in my drinks and liking it, then Dennis has another bigger mandolin that he can slice the lemons a little thicker, and they'll come out prettier. But anyway, so those went in the dehydrator with my grapefruit peel. So that's the kind of thing I was doing yesterday. So I was buttering in the kitchen with Dennis, and you know, I finished my book, Martha Wells. Oh my gosh. I sent that book back and I never noticed the title of it. But I ordered the next one. Or I put in the next one on hold. There are two of them. Put the next one on hold in the library, but it'll be 10 weeks according to their tracker. 6 people are ahead of me. But I enjoyed it, so that was fun. And of course, then I was on a reading kick, and so I started a new book, which I'm also in the middle of, but I've read it before, so it's not quite so hard to put down, although I don't know why I say that. I stay up till, you know, all hours for books I've read before, so anyway. So yesterday was reading and puttering in the kitchen. But it turned out to be a very nice day, and we had a nice walk. And it's lovely today. There are a few clouds in the sky, but I wouldn't call it a cloudy day. You know, I don't know what I would call it, because it's mostly blue, I guess partly cloudy. I don't know. I don't know if there are any official designations of that. So today's going to be a little bit more of the same. Oh, and Dennis made Kahlua. That didn't get finished till like midnight. So we didn't try, I mean, we tasted it, of course, but we didn't try any drinks with the Kahlua. Thank you for the espresso martini idea. And I guess it was it's just Kahlua and club soda, you know, over ice is great in the summer. Yeah, we're going to be having some lovely drinks on the deck when it gets hot. So that's one to keep in mind. But we do love a White Russian and a Black Russian. And I used to drink Black Russians because they were so... this was before I drank martinis. I wasn't a big drinker. I didn't drink martinis or anything like that. And so a Black Russian was a drink you could order in a bar for the same cost as all those other drinks, and it was I drank it a lot slower, so it was cheaper. Hey, you gotta think of these things, you know. I was a single mother on my night out. Black Russian. Anyway, it also is very interesting tasting, but it's been a long time since I tasted Kahlua. I'm gonna dig in my cupboard and see if I have an old bottle of Kahlua in my cupboard, just to test side by side, just for experiment. But anyway, that's what we did, and that's what's happening today too. Although, actually, I'm not sure there's anything left on the list to make. Drinks wise, I guess we finished it. So I don't know what I'm doing today. I was very annoyed with myself yesterday because I didn't make my list, and then I'm standing there and I've already done 2 of the things on my list and I don't have a list, and so I can't cross them off. And I do feel ridiculous writing them on the list so I can cross them off after I've already done them. So I was kind of annoyed that I never made my list. I guess I've kind of decided I'm going to go to the motor vehicles and get my real ID and get my picture taken on Tuesday after I get my hair done, because I haven't done anything about getting my driver's license online, and it expires next week. So there you go. You know, I guess I'd rather have my picture look more like me and I would like to have real ID just to get it over with. So I will be, whenever I make my list, be putting find all your documentation on the list. I probably have to find my birth certificate. Birth certificates are the most ridiculous thing. Because, I mean, it's an official document, but there is no way they could know that that piece of paper that I'm handing them is me. You know? It's just, on some level, I don't get how it's really ID. You know? I guess in this day and age, it feels like if it doesn't have a picture on it, how is it ID? Whatever. And on my Social Security card, which had been lost for decades, I found it in a very, very old wallet at some point, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. But it's written right on that. This is not to be used for official ID, and all of a sudden now it's official ID. Of course, that was a long time ago, 50 years ago. More than 50 years ago when I got that. I've had it for over 50 years. I was shocked when I found it. But it says it's not legal for identification. Of course, that back when they get, back when I got it, it was no big deal, your Social Security number. I mean, when I went to Penn State, my student ID was my Social Security number. Now it's all secret, and, because people, there was no such thing as identity theft back then. So they were throwing Social Security numbers around right and left, but yeah, it wasn't my student ID number. So anyway, that's what's on my list, and now I've been talking too long because I knew I would do that. All right. So maybe I'll make a list today, and I'll read my book and knit. I have to knit. I have things I want to finish, and I'm close. I'm close to 2 finishes. Yeah. And then I saw my drinks shelf down there, and I'm thinking, oh, I could work on that. So I'm feeling a little crafty today, although, unfortunately, I started a book last night. And you know how I am. Oh, well. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe. Please, please, stay safe and stay sane.